It's simply more bundled together. 51 gigabytes for 7 days for only $2,000. Live the experience with Digicel. Activate today on the My Digicel app.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. Guyanese over the past 5 years would have been regaled with promises of a better future. But the country's main source of revenue continues to be taxes paid by workers, companies, and domestic transactions. Earnings from the country's first year of oil production is less than a quarter of what was collected in taxes from a population of less than 1 million people. Government last year collected $218 billion in taxes, but received a total of $53 billion from its sale of just over 5 million barrels of oil and a 2% royalty in production. According to the Ministry of Finance's budget estimates for 2021, the government is looking to rake in even more taxes from Guyanese workers and corporations this year, projecting $242 billion in returns. And now let's tell you, Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat had said that the media could request the information it needs on oil and gas production and revenues. The government's latest oil report on the fifth oil lift vastly reduced the detail provided by the previous administration's Ministry of Finance. Asked whether he is comfortable with the level of detail being provided in light of the government's promise of transparency, Bharat said that the government has no problem giving out information. He encouraged Kaieteur to ask for the information it needs. He also encouraged to rely on the senior minister in the office of the president with responsibility for finance, Dr. Rashni Singh, and the vice president, Dr. Bharat Jagdeo, to address some of the specific concerns about the reports and the issue of transparency. And moving on, the Stabroek block has seen more than 31.4 million barrels of oil being produced in its first year of production from the Liza Destiny oil vessel offshore Guyana. The country is now being poised to uplift 6 million barrels of oil this year as its projected entitlement from production in the Stabroek block. But the country remains without a marketing firm for its crude. Minister of Natural Resources Vikram Bharat yesterday said that the work on the drafting of the terms of reference for that initiative is still ongoing, and as such, the document is still to be finalized. An earlier request for proposals last month had been cancelled, making this the third effort by the government to secure a marketing firm. And on that note, let's tell you, former head of the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission, or GLSC, Trevor Benn, yesterday made his first court appearance for the alleged illegal sale of 6 acres of land and was placed on $200,000 bail for the offense. 53-year-old Ben of Century Palm Gardens, Georgetown, appeared in the Georgetown Magistrates Court before Senior Magistrate Leron Daly. And now let's tell you, ExxonMobil intends to test the limits of its gas compressor equipment as it evaluates options to increase the nameplate capacity at the Liza Destiny oil vessel. The intention to increase the operation's nameplate capacity of 120,000 barrels of oil per day was first announced by Chief Operations Officer at Hess Corporation Gregory Hill. The company had been testing the liquids capacity in late January, raising production to 130,000 barrels of oil a day when its gas compression system experienced malfunction. This caused the company to start flaring above pilot levels, according to its public statements, to 16 million cubic feet of gas per day. And moving on, Justice Navindra Singh yesterday granted judgment in favor of ex-President Donald Ramotar in the libel suit he brought against Kaieteur News and its publisher Glenn Lal over publications related to the signing away of the Kaieteur and Kanji blocks. According to the decision, which was handed down over Ramotar's defamation claims, the damages were assessed in the sum of $20 million, which includes an assessment of aggravated damages. The court also awarded interest in the said award at the rate of 6% per annum from June 26, 2019 to March 12, 2021 and 4% per annum thereafter until fully paid. The court awarded a sum of $2.4 million as prescribed costs to Ramotar against Kaieteur News and Glenn Lal jointly and severally. And that's the news of the moment. Remember to get the full details of these stories, pick up a copy of the Kaieteur News. And don't forget, you can catch us on the MyTuner app as well as the Radio Garden app. You can also keep up to date by liking our Facebook page at Kaieteur Radio and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Kaieteur Radio Livestream. Oh, also catch our stream at www.kaieteurnewsonline.com/radio. It is now 19 hours 5 in Guyana. Coming up, an excerpt from the Glenn Lal Show, Tell It As It Is.